Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra,
We're ladies.
and we tangent.
What's up, everyone? Hello.
What's happening?
You know what's funny is when we were starting the podcast, we had talked about how we were going to start every episode,
Yeah.
and that's how we came up with the comfy
Comfy
pants thing. And then we completely abandoned the comfy pants thing.
We didn't even talk about it. We just stopped.
We were just like, this is stupid.
I've actually been re-listening, and I just listened to the one where you abandoned it completely, and I was like, I'll ask you this time. And it didn't work.
I just realized, like, I don't know. I was trying to plant seeds for like a future thing, and I guess now we do have comfy pants as like we have comfortable pants. They don't even say comfy pants; they just say ladies and tangents.
Yeah,
but
they're comfy.
They're called comfy pants. But now we just naturally developed an intro,
Which I love.
without having to force it like we initially did by asking each other what we were wearing, like the freaks we are.
And we don't need to ask each other now because you can see us.
You can see us. We don't need to describe.
These were actually like always the pants I was wearing. What's
That
up?
is
I'm
true.
back in pants that I wore before I had a baby.
Woohoo!
Woo! They're squeezing me like a can of biscuits. But we're in here.
But it still feels good.
I have to tell you something.
Okay.
I'd like to formally apologize
For what?
to ASM artists
Why?
because I've been watching Vivacity every night.
And?
I love her.
Thank you.
I'm obsessed. The other night I watched and she was almost to like the weekly top 10 or whatever. And I'm sitting there going, heart, 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 heart. Like,
Look at you, you little fan. I get embarrassed.
What,
like,
that you...
I didn't. Okay. I'm not embarrassed for people to know that I watched it, but I didn't want you to feel weirded out that like our name was like popping up in her live or something. So
Yeah.
I would just like watch it on YouTube, or I would watch
No,
it like,
really?
yeah, because I don't know. I didn't want like,
I like go to her lives now because
that makes me happy. I'm glad.
that's
Now I
like-
won't be afraid.
that's normally the time when my child is the fussiest, but she's going down for her
Yeah.
like long stretch of sleep. It's like at midnight. So I'll just pop on some headphones and like I can still hear her,
Yeah.
but she's just screaming.
Yeah.
So I'll like be trying to put her on my knees and do like a rocking back and forth with her pacifier, and then she normally falls asleep and I'm also just listening. My new favorite, I love when she does the choral. She goes boop 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 boop.
When she does Ducky in the thing.
She puts the duck up and she's like, I will never be able to do it, but it's like boop 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 boop.
Yes.
It
Do you know
sounds
how
so
long
good.
it took me to know what the fuck she was doing behind that fishbowl? Because
What
I would
is she
hear
doing?
I don't know. I hear her make the sounds and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Show us your mouth.
show me what that mouth do. How are you doing that?
Yes.
But I think she just goes,
Yeah,
but, like, I
it
don't-
sounds so good. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what mic do you use? Because I love
there's
it.
apparently ASMR mics that like are ears. And they're a
Mm.
left and a right, and so you can like
Mm.
specify what is going into each ear.
Ooh.
They're expensive, but
Yeah.
she's talked about it before on her lives, and I was like, oh, someone should gift you that.
Yes. I also I love when she does the crisscross applesauce, but with the laser.
Yes.
That's normally, and the shaving cream. I fucking die for the shaving cream.
With the pop rocks?
Yeah.
If you guys, sorry if you're not on ASMR TikTok, or if you're not
You
into
should
ASMR.
watch her because she's
Right?
so good.
Yes.
I get like personally offended for her when I see people pop into her live and they're like, what even is this? And I'm like, bitch, I will fucking.
But she's so nice about it,
She's
even.
so nice.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm okay with it, because I just genuinely like her a lot
Yeah.
as a person. She when she gets gifted like planets and stuff, I know so much about her. I've been watching it for like a week straight.
Listen, you're speaking my language.
So when she gets gifted like a universe or a planet, which is like a
Mhm.
really big gift, she has to eat one of those nasty jelly beans.
Oh no, that's a new thing then.
Yes. And so she was having to eat these like the Harry Potter like
Yep.
jelly beans. So it's like liver and onions,
Mhm.
dirty dishwater. And she was it was awful. I felt really bad for her, but she was so cute about it. I was like, keep sending her things. I could watch this all day, but also I felt really bad because she was like,
I So we've talked about how I have misophonia.
Yeah.
And mouth sounds really bother me.
Yes.
But I swear to God, when she eats Jolly Ranchers,
I'm
like, why does that sound so good in my ears?
She'll put, or she eats those chocolate coins when she gets the coin drops. And I'm like, I can listen to you too. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Or I'm really weird when people would be like, when they would say certain, but when she says like, then make
I told you. Oh my gosh. And when the hands come up, what is that?
I don't know. I'm like, I do it too. I'm like,
you looked at me like I was fucking insane.
I had to give it a shot after you talked about it. I'm like, I gotta see what these hater blockers are all about. Yeah. I love that. And then I did, and now it's like a comfort thing that I watch it every night. I get upset. Freaking New Year's Eve, we watched the ball drop, and I was like, I gotta go upstairs. Corey was like, why? I was like, I'm gonna try to get her to bed, but really I was up there with the headphones on.
Was Vivacity on?
Oh yeah, she was.
Oh my gosh,
she never
New Year's
misses.
Eve, girl.
And Christmas. I watched both.
Oh my gosh. What a delight.
She is.
Everyone, go follow Vivacity.
Please, she's so good.
Yeah.
And like just a good person. I love her.
Oh my gosh. Well, that makes me very, very happy.
Yeah. So I hope all the best for her. 'Cause she's freaking, and when I don't watch, like sometimes the other night, Sawyer had a really rough night. She didn't go down until like 1:30. Woof. And it was like the tail end of it. And I was like, damn, I freaking feel like I missed out. Well, I know I could go watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
She posts all of them on YouTube, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I should do that sometime.
You don't get to see the planets and stuff, but you can hear her say that she got one.
Yeah.
And normally you can tell it was a big one because she'll like pause and get really excited.
Dude, if she goes, oh my gosh.
Were the Festers in there?
What's the Festers?
There's two gifters. Well, I guess I don't know if I'd call them fans or listeners or whatever. And one is called Uncle Fester and the other is Fester's uncle. And they both like gift her things.
No, I've never seen them, but that's hilarious.
Yeah. So I'll hear like, Fester's uncle, thank you for this. Thank you for that.
She always goes, thank you. I just love her. And she whispers the whole time, so I'm really like intently listening to everything she has to say.
Do you ever wonder what her real voice sounds like?
Yeah, all the time. I'm like, I just want to catch you off guard. Also, there are a couple times where my anxiety increases when she turns the lights off and does the lasers because I'm just thinking like, what if someone's behind her?
Someone has said that in her live before, and she's like, please don't fucking do that. I'm turning the chat off now because I'm scared.
It scares me for her. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just my intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to apologize for is Love Island's fucking incredible.
Thank you.
It's incredible. I can't like say that I can't come here, but like it was hard for me to get up to go get ready to come here because I've been watching it like all day and I didn't want to stop.
I have it playing in my headphone 24/7. 24/7.
My inner monologue speaks in that
now has an accent.
I gotta tell you something. First of all, I had to turn on the subtitles because wow, it's a lot.
Well, you're on UK season 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. UK?
Yes.
Okay. Their accents are pretty thick.
Oh my God. Like,
yeah.
Corey tried to watch with me the other day and he hates when the subtitles are on, so he turned them off and I was like, you have got to turn those back on.
This is like Hamilton style. You're going to need to read those.
Not to mention, there's a whole nother language. Yeah. Like, I wrote a bunch down because
mint, in it,
bruv, which I love. Melty. Or a melt. If you call someone a melt, or like say you're melty, bruv.
Muggy.
Yeah. Muggy. Mugged off. Pied off.
Yeah.
Over the gaff? What the fuck does that mean?
What is that?
I don't know, but Chris says a lot. She's over the gaff, or I'm over the gaff, or something like that.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what if you... Birds, I love how they call women birds.
Yes, that's me so too.
I don't know. I'm a feminist, but I'm like, fucking, yeah, we're birds.
Call me a bird.
I love that.
There was a resident at the nursing home. Do they call it nursing home still? There was a resident at the assisted living center. Sure. I'm not sure the terminology, sorry. But she was in the dementia and Alzheimer's unit, and she didn't speak, like, at all.
Yeah.
But her name was Birdie, and she was so fucking cute.
I had a cat named Birdie.
Aww.
She chirped all the time.
Did?
That's like, she didn't meow. She was just like, like literally, it was so cute.
I really like the name Birdie.
Yeah, me too. If
For when I
was
never have another child, she'll be
say.
called Birdie.
Crack on.
Birdie Steinmetz?
Birdie
God damn it, that's
cute.
fucking cute.
That is really cute.
Oh, hell. Okay,
Sorry,
anyway.
Yeah. Crack on.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Get some, chat.
Yeah.
I keep telling Corey, you got shit chat, mate. He's like, stop saying that to me. I was like, I just need a little bit of banter.
Banter. Yeah.
Banner.
Banter.
You got shit chat. Fit? I love when they say fit. Oh, he's fucking fit, ain't he?
Oh, he's well fit.
Yeah.
That's a bit of me.
Aggie?
Yeah.
Which I think maybe is like agitated.
Yeah, like don't get aggy with me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I fucking love it.
It's
so much.
Good.
It's so fun. And I feel like I'm a newborn or like a baby learning a language because I'm just using context clues to try to figure out what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah, sometimes there was a term chuffed. I didn't know if it was good or bad. They're like, they were saying they were feeling chuffed, and I'm like, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more from you. I'm not sure what chuffed is.
Yes.
If it's a positive or a negative.
That's how I feel about melt, because I know that melt is a bad thing. But like, what is it, like a pussy? Because they say like, you melt, you're a little melty right now. Or, like, he's a melt for me.
Like, are you being a dick?
Yeah.
Or are you like being a bitch?
Well, Olivia said it about Sam. Like, he's being a melt right now. And I was like, so does that mean that you think that he's like
being a baby?
Yeah. I don't know. Tell us.
Or he's like a toasted cheese?
You're
being a fucking toasted cheese right now.
What kind of a melt? Because that sounds delicious. So anyways, I love it.
Bit of a ham and Swiss, aren't you?
My inner monologue has started. It's just that. And I have to stop myself from speaking like that constantly. And also, we got to get better fucking slang, Americans. Come on.
We got shit chat.
We got shit chat, mate. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it, bruv? Bruv. But I'm only at the part. Can we talk about it? Okay. I'm at the part right now where Jess and Mike just went home.
Okay.
So I'm like middle maybe of it, right?
Yep.
So I haven't gotten to any. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really hard because there's always people at my house that want to watch the TV, and I'm like, I am trying to binge something.
Oh, I'm always on my phone. It's playing on my phone.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I should do it on my phone.
You just gotta get some headphones.
No, I really need headphones. I have the big fucking, actually they're Corey's birthday present, but I just keep wearing them.
Yeah, you gotta just
headphones.
I'm telling you, you need to get AirPods.
Yes.
And you need to well, you don't have an Apple. You need to get wireless headphones.
Yes.
And then have one in the charger, and then when that one dies, you switch it out, and that's what you do.
Oh my god, that's such a good idea, because my problem is I let one die. I let both of them die, and then I never charge them again.
Yeah,
because
no. I go onesie twosie.
That's such a good idea.
Thank you.
Wow. Anyway, so that's been my life the last week, pretty much.
Well,
I don't think I have anything else.
My week was COVID.
Yeah.
And then like we're all getting over it right now. We're obviously out of quarantine because we're face to face.
Yeah. How was it?
Not good. Not good. Shane and I both were really struggling mentally, like not being able to leave the house and go anywhere is one thing. Not being able to celebrate the holidays is another thing. Everything being closed because of the holidays, so like having groceries delivered or food delivered was a struggle.
Yeah.
And then it was rainy outside, so like we couldn't even go on walks.
Yep.
Not that we even felt good enough to go on walks,
right.
But like I was like really fatigued and stuff for a little bit, but like for the most part, I think my vaccine like really saved us.
Yeah.
Like none of us had a fever ever.
Yeah, that's
good. We all had like coughs, but yeah, it was like best case scenario for sure, but still sucked ass.
Yeah.
And I went back to the doctor. It was like my appointment was the day after quarantine ended.
Wow, what luck.
I know. And so I went to the doctor and I felt so bad because they're like, have you been in contact with anyone who had COVID? And I was like, I did. And part of me like felt bad, like they were gonna want to distance themselves from me, like, why the fuck are you here? But I was like, but I'm out, like I'm allowed to be
out here.
And I also had my mask on. And she's like, so are you having symptoms? And I'm like, I don't know. Symptoms? Who has symptoms? I don't know. Maybe me. Okay, it's a couple of them. But I went back to the doctor and they were asking me about my mental health and just like doing a check-in. And I'm like, hey, not doing well.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like I felt like initially the Zoloft was working and then all of a sudden it took a plummet. I was like, my mind is racing. I can't sleep at night. I think that was part of my problem of healing is like there was 3 days where I
couldn't sleep.
Oh,
and you gotta be able to sleep sicknesses off.
If I woke up in the middle of the night because I heard one of the kids or because Shane was coming into bed, I would lay there and count back from 100 over and over and over again. And because the kids are sick, like they were getting up multiple times. And so I never had time to actually sleep.
Ugh.
I was dead.
Yep.
And so I told the doctor that, and she was like, okay, we're going to up your dosage to the max.
Yeah.
And once you get on that, if your thoughts don't stop racing, if you're still having trouble sleep, like if you're still having trouble focusing, then we're going to treat your ADHD and see if it's undiagnosed ADHD or untreated ADHD and not the depression and anxiety. So I have went from like 50 a day to 100 to now 150 and I will be starting 200 soon.
Oh my God.
But we'll see how it goes. So far, I'm on day 2 and I feel great.
Oh, good.
I feel so good. Again, I'm hoping this like lasts and it's not like my body will just have a placebo effect and then go back to feeling like shit and not. But I am sleeping and I'm taking it in the morning now instead of before bed.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, that's important.
So there's that.
I think mine's getting a little better too.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
good.
medicined out, but not yet.
Yeah.
But I just think the holidays were rough.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
And Noah's back, so I have him back. It's been a lot better. Sawyer's sleeping better, so I'm getting like 6 hours stretches and then like 4 more after. I'm like, oh my girl, I know. It's amazing what like sleeping could do for you.
Yeah.
I did get on that new birth control though, and so I'm getting headaches again, which is rough. But I would rather that than being pregnant again.
I was gonna say, is that something you're gonna like put up with, or
I have to because I absolutely cannot be pregnant again. That's like I just can't.
And you won't do any other kind of protection.
No.
What about the non-hormonal one that what's her face? Have you seen the commercials where she's like, "Welcome to my vagina"?
Yeah, but I heard that was like 70% effective.
Oh,
it was like
a bit of a risk.
I know. It's like one that you use with another form, like condoms.
Oh,
which I fucking hate.
Yeah.
So we just got over having to use those, and I was like, "Wow, that was awful. Let's never do that again."
Yeah.
So
well. It is what it is, isn't it?
That's just kind
in it.
I can pretty much just take the headaches every once in a while.
Yeah.
But the sucky part is when I get migraines is they linger for like, they're terrible at first. Like the day that I had them and I had my mother-in-law come and get Sawyer because I literally couldn't, I threw up probably 10 times in a row. And I was like, I can't take care of my baby. I'm so dehydrated. I can't feed her. Like it was bad. So she came and got her. I slept it off. I slept for like 5 hours. And then when I woke up, it was better. Not great, but better.
Right.
Enough to where I could eat and the nausea was gone. And that's the worst part of it.
Right.
But the headache has kind of lingered for like 3 days now. So yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what other birth control I can trust. And it's like, I know that I'm okay besides the headaches with this one. Do I like risk another one and it not be as effective, or I get like major depression on it, or something? I'm like afraid of the other side effects I could get.
Yeah.
And I'm also really afraid of getting pregnant again. So
all is bad.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wait like 5 years, and then Corey's gonna.
That's such a fucking long time to wait. I'm gonna be having migraines for 5 years.
Good news is I only get them like every once in a while, but when I get them, they're very bad.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
But when I'm not breastfeeding anymore, I can take like Excedrin, and that usually knocks them out.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I would have been able to take Excedrin, I would have been fine. The problem was I couldn't take Tylenol because I threw it up immediately. But as soon as I slept and the nausea went away, I took Motrin and I was fine, pretty much.
Wow.
So that's my life.
Sweet Lord.
So today we have. Wait, should we tell them about the merch situation?
Oh, sure.
Okay, everybody, here's the deal. We didn't realize that people gave a fuck about us as much as they do. But people are like ripping our freaking merch off.
Yeah.
And trying to sell it themselves. So here's the problem. If you go to Google and you type in Ladies and Tangents merch, a bunch of things will pop up like in the shop part where you can scroll.
And it's an ad for stuff that isn't ours.
It's not ours. So please don't buy that. Not even just because we won't get the money, but we can't say that that's going to be good quality. Like, we know nothing.
We have no idea what they're going
to.
Yeah, we don't know what they're going to do with your information.
Your money. Yes. Please don't buy that. The only merch you should be buying is going to our website and the little tab that says the plus thing, merch.
Yeah.
Buy it from there, because then we can guarantee 100% you won't get ripped off.
We know where it's coming from. We can
know
control,
it's good quality.
Yeah.
We know that your money's in good hands.
We can see your orders. We can track it. We can verify information. If you go through a third party, we have no idea.
Yeah. If you try to buy off that and they rip your money off, or you get like shit quality stuff and you come to us, there's nothing that we can do about that. So.
We are going to be exploring like legal stuff for that, because this is a whole new world.
We didn't even think that was going to be a thing at all. So it's
like, who the fuck cares enough to rip our merch off?
I know, for real.
Yeah. So, and plus we commission pieces
from people that
we paid for those designs.
Yes.
And we want that person to receive the credit, and their art. I want them to know that their designs are being used for what they were intended to be used for.
Exactly.
So anyway, we just wanted to give everyone a heads up that if you're like putting it in Google, because that is a commonly searched
I
thing.
looked it up and I was like, oh, that's a big thing that people
I saw a YouTube video that was like the internet's most asked questions, and I think like Vogue or something does it, or Elle, I don't know, with celebrities, and I was like, I wonder if anyone's ever asked anything about us. And so I typed in our name, and the things that are common is, where are we from?
Are we related?
Yeah. And merch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're from Ohio. Yes, we are related. And please only buy from our website.
Yes. There we go.
Yep.
Questions answered.
Yes. But none of that matters, because everything we're living in isn't real.
I'm so freaked out by this episode.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of the info.
Okay, well, I'm going to pause before this.
Okay.
So the reason I wanted to talk about this, Barbara asked me during my last therapy session, she was like, how do you come up with stuff to talk about every single week? And I said, well, Barbara, that's a great question.
My mind never fucking stops.
Yes. But I told her, if I'm like scrolling, or I'm listening to something, or I'm watching a video, or if I see something is trending and people are talking about it a lot, I'm not afraid to say, I don't know what that is or where it came from.
Yes.
And I don't want to just regurgitate things over and over again without understanding
what it is,
the source.
About? Yeah.
And so that's why I wanted to talk about gaslighting. In the future, I want to talk about gatekeeping. I want to talk about
the male gaze. Is
the male gaze. But the simulation was one that people were talking about. I thought that was a huge thing that people were discussing in 2021. And I'm like, where did this theory come from?
Yeah. And it's been around for a very, very long time. A very long time. And it is a bit, it's a little scary. So, and there have been people like, okay, so I'm going to give you like the info that I found.
Okay.
And then I'm also I found a Reddit thread that's really fun of like experiences that people had that
I saw a TikTok today where someone said they jumped universes.
Ooh, it's so, So, we're going to read through some. I read half of them. And then I stopped because I thought, if we have more that I'm going to read, I kind of want us to both be surprised, because they were I was like,
well, I thought about offering, I feel like we're doing that thing where people just repeat the same beginning of a sentence over and over again without getting to the point.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I thought about doing an entire episode of experience stories.
Yes.
Like if any of our listeners have them, or if they have found any in their journey, because I know we're into this shit. I know we all are.
Yep. Sorry, I have to find it.
Or if you weren't before, you're about to be.
Yes, you are. Sorry, I have to find it because
it's fine. I'll just cut this out.
What a simulation part, though. It friggin' was on my phone and now it's not. It was literally the first thing I had up. I'll just read you the Wikipedia.
Okay.
Like what it says. So it says a simulation hypothesis is a proposal regarding the nature of existence, which posits that all of existence is an artificial simulation, such as a computer simulation. That's the biggest theory. That somebody, a bigger entity, is controlling everything on one huge like computer. I'm gonna dissociate.
I know.
Some versions rely on the development of a simulated reality, a proposed technology that would be able to convince its inhabitants that the simulation was real.
Well, whenever I play The Sims can play The Sims,
Yes.
and like that freaks me out.
Yes,
Because I'm like, am I a
fuck,
sim
is
playing The
this
Sims playing The Sims?
Yes. Well, so then I looked up because there's a lot of fucking quantum physics bullshit that it threw at me. So then I typed in a Reddit thing and someone said, explain it to me like I'm 5, the simulation theory.
Thank God someone did
someone
that.
answered. So fucking this is what really simply explained. The simulation theory states that we, as in the whole universe, is just a simulation in someone's supercomputer like The Sims or The Matrix.
The universe? The whole universe?
The
like
whole
the other planets? Even?
Universe. Yes.
The Milky Way?
The Milky. The Milky.
All of it?
Yes. The idea is that somewhere outside the supercomputer, there's a person or an entity that perhaps wanted to know how the universe would have looked like if, for example, there was no water on Earth, or perhaps if the gravitational constant was different. So their whole thing is like the big, like, what would happen if, and then I'm going to put that in, and then I'm just going to let, like, the simulation go.
So it's kind of like the idea that in Wreck-It Ralph, for example, how all of those games have a real life inside of the game outside of the person playing it.
Kind of, yes. Yes. So because of the supercomputer, a whole universe could be created as a simulation in which we live to test some sick idea that the person or entity came up with. So an example is like perhaps where they're at, water is poisonous for them, and they wanted to test what would happen actually if water were essential to life. And so they created this simulation where we need water to survive. Then we are simply a process running in the computer to reach the final answer that would satisfy the person, entity, and nothing else. So it's not so much like The Sims where they would be actively playing us, but more so as they asked this question, they created a thing that would just run until they found the answer. So, the theory states that there's 3 possible futures then for us if we are in the simulation. One is that we will go extinct within a near future before we manage to create enough computer power to run the simulation ourselves. 2, we basically stop running simulations because we don't need them to be any more accurate. So everything just ends.
Okay.
And 3, we managed to make a supercomputer that can simulate a whole universe in which we can make changes to the fundamental constants like gravity and such. So like one of us makes a simulation that can outdo this simulation.
Is that what Elon Musk is working on?
I think he's one of the people that like believes that this is a thing. He said there's more than a 50% chance he believes.
What? I'm having such a hard time. How the fuck did he come up with that percentage?
I don't know. Hold on. There's the thing that I read was his thing. So now I want to go find.
Do you know he didn't come up with Tesla?
What?
He bought Tesla and then told the creators of Tesla that they were not allowed to call themselves the creators of Tesla. So he didn't even come up with it.
Sneaky?
I know. So there's a 50-50 chance you're full of shit, my guy.
You didn't create Tesla. Okay. So
I hope I'm not talking out of my ass. Shane told me that, and I believe everything my husband tells me.
What if it's not real?
I know.
Oh, our men should get together and talk about Elon Musk because Corey will defend him.
Oh my God.
I know. And every time he does, I'm like, I roll. But he thinks he's a nice guy.
How would he know?
He's watched him in an interview and said that he was a really nice guy and that he seemed like he was getting teary-eyed when he was talking about caring about love and people in the world. And I was like, okay, Corey, you're so manipulated.
Maybe
easily manipulated.
I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know shit about him. I've never watched him speak or anything.
I don't think I sent you this TikTok because I wanted to watch it with you, but it was a guy who put a Joe Rogan interview like mashed it with his video and he was explaining Ratatouille to Joe Rogan. And it was so fucking funny because it was like real audio from the Joe Rogan podcast, but he was explaining Ratatouille. And so it looked like Joe was asking like in-depth questions about Ratatouille, and it was just really fucking funny. And
That's
I thought of you.
Really, really funny. So yeah, I don't know anything about him, but I'll be honest, we should get on his good side if he is gonna run the simulations.
Who, Elon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I bet you're really a nice guy, and Corey really likes you.
Yeah. Be kind to us.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm afraid of the simulation in the same way that I'm afraid of like God.
Yeah, because you don't have any control.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
Well, like
I would almost rather like the God thing be real. No.
But wouldn't that still be a simulation?
Yeah. It's just God's at the control.
Yeah.
And he's just like, but at the
like,
end of God's simulation, there's hell.
But isn't anyone then who's in control who gave us life God?
Yeah, I mean, technically, if you want to get philosophical with it.
Well, and I do. Boy, do I.
But in the simulation, are they giving us life, or did we create life out of the simulation that they created?
Wait.
And this is why I couldn't get that in depth with it, because it got really confusing for me.
So, were we here and then someone started playing us, or were we created?
I think the simulation theory is that we were creative. They created our universe.
Thank you,
Daddy Creator. Oh, seriously, you don't.
You've been kind and good and gentle to us,
Yeah.
Daddy Creator.
Well, for the last year.
Yeah.
The rest of it, you could have done better.
Don't piss
I'm so
Daddy
sorry.
Creator
Daddy. I'm sorry. But also,
Sir Daddy.
Sir Daddy.
Professor Daddy, sir. Thank you.
Whoever you are. I wonder if it's an alien. It would have to be, right? It's not a person.
What does an alien look like to you?
The small little guys that are like, me, you know.
What?
Definitely not lizard people, but I know that's probably what they are.
Well, okay. Someone, when we mentioned lizard people, do you know that it has anti-Semitic roots?
I apologize for that too. When I say lizard people, I mean like aliens, but I know that whole conspiracy theory is rooted in anti-Semitism, which a lot of them recently are, which is why I won't go in depth when people are like, go into depth on this conspiracy. I won't because I know how like rooted in.
Yeah. I mean, unless we were like telling you where they really come from so people can stop perpetuating them.
QAnon. Hey guys, that's so anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
So really be watching what you're saying. Because they're not even trying to hide it.
Right.
It's pretty bad. But I
aliens.
know a lot of and I think the QAnon lizard people thing kind of go together. Do they not?
Yes.
But when I say that, I guess I just mean like the aliens that look like, I think of them as like the movie, what was that fucking movie called?
Alien vs. Predator?
No. Charlie Sheen was in it. Signs.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
What?
I know that they have the foil on their head.
Yes. And then the aliens from that is what I think that they would look like.
Oh. I think
But also them being giant salamanders would be kind of cool too.
Giant salamanders?
Like fucking Randall from Monsters Inc.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me?
I like the alien with the very big head and the very big eyes. And the very tiny
That's like
neck.
Signs. That's what they look like in
and
Signs.
the very long fingers.
Yes.
But I also like E.T.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? He's a little short, dumpy motherfucker.
He is.
And I can fuck with that.
I could hug that short, dumpy motherfucker.
Me too. And he's like, wow. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And Drew Barrymore's in it. She's a little baby.
Shane's cousin's name is Elliot. And I asked him, I was like, do you get people going, Elliot, at you all the time? And he's like, only old people. And I'm like, tight. So glad that I did it just now then.
Because that's definitely an older.
Yeah, I guess.
Who the fuck watches E.T. anymore?
Mario Kart Erica was terrified of E.T., but always wanted to watch it.
What?
I don't know.
She's a sadist. No.
Masochist.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's a sadist to herself. Okay, so The idea of simulation theory can be attributed to the prominent Oxford University philosopher Nick Bostrom.
Mr. Nick Bostrom.
He wrote a paper. Quote, are you living in a computer simulation? Was the paper. And the paper argues that one of the following assumptions are true. 1, the human species is very likely to go extinct before reaching a post-human stage. So that's like what that other guy said, that we are probably just going to go extinct.
But like,
that's so scary.
We probably will go extinct, but do you think that's because the simulation has run its course, or just because we're being really fucking stupid with the planet?
Well, that's one of the theories that doesn't have anything to do with computer simulation.
Okay.
Then the second one is any post-human civilization is extremely unlikely to run a significant number of simulations of their evolutionary history. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, okay.
But number 3, which is the one he argued the most, is that we are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. And that one is the most probable. So this says, in short, our great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren will probably have the computing power needed to run evolutionary simulations of humanity themselves.
What?
Yeah.
So they'll create other universes, essentially?
Yes. Ew, or will they just take over running this one?
How would that happen? That feels
Nick.
like
you explain.
That feels like plugging an extension cord into itself.
Ooh.
And it's like, how's that run?
You know what I mean?
There's no power.
That's good. Yeah. So are we the simulation, or is our world the simulation?
I think you said our whole universe is.
Yeah. But I just mean like people too?
Yeah. Well, how would we not be a part of the universe?
No, I know we're part of the simulation, but like, are we like computer players? Are we like a player in the game?
I think.
Fucking
but I don't know if we're active, like if we're the ones they're playing, or if we're like on auto mode.
Yeah, this just said, how would you know that you are not currently part of the simulation? Ponder that for a second. That's all I've been pondering since I started looking into this, you son of a bitch.
The simulation, the idea of it terrifies me greatly. But like at the same time, does it really change anything?
No. Because none of this is real anyways.
Well, you can't control it either way.
Exactly.
Right?
So what's the only thing is like, there could be someone who pulls the plug on us. We're doing that to ourselves right now. With our planet.
That could happen anyway.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think maybe the idea that, I don't know where like it started. Have you ever thought about like the universe starting?
Yeah, and I hate it. I really do.
Sometimes I'll just sit here and stare and like, how the fuck? How did we figure out anything?
No, I hate it. Like humans?
Mm-hmm.
Truly, how the fuck? Do you ever think about how did the first people know to fuck each other?
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before. Yes.
I can't stop thinking about it. It's all I think about.
How did they
know to fuck?
I was thinking about it the other day, about how just perfectly we fit inside of each other.
Lock and key sort of situation?
Yeah.
It is interesting. But like, how did they know like this is, because one day like a person just was pregnant and they're like, oh,
one day a person was just here?
Yeah. Well, that's weird. I hate thinking about that.
Right?
Because evolution is what I believe.
I also believe in evolution.
But it's very weird.
Even when I was like a full-blown believer in a religion, like a specific religion, I still believed in evolution.
Adam and Eve is real, then we all came from incest. Because they are two people and they had children, and then where the fuck did the rest of the people come from?
Yeah.
Riddle me that.
I don't understand. I think that's why the simulation makes sense to me, is because
nothing else does.
Well, when I think about computer games and how they can just like make shit up and make stuff happen,
that makes the most sense, because what the fuck is anything?
Is Bluetooth, is television. You're telling me I can point a camera at us right now, and then in the future replay it for people?
Yeah.
And it's saved as data on a card and I can transmit that data? How?
Well, that's why Elon Musk thinks that for real, eventually we'll be able to run a simulation ourselves, because he's like, fucking Pong was a video game back in the 80s, which was not that long ago. And now we have virtual reality where you can be in a video game, basically.
In the metaverse.
Yeah. Fucking ugh. So this goes all the way back to the French philosopher René Descartes.
Okay.
Sure. He once said it's possible. I know him because he's the one that said,
do you?
No, I fucking know this guy.
Right. I can vouch for him.
Yeah.
I had chemistry with him one time.
Me and René Descartes.
We go back.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that said, I think, therefore I am. Because I think he started to go fucking crazy with all of this stuff, thinking too far into it. But once he said, it's possible that I am dreaming right now and that all of my perceptions are false. Which, what up, bud? That's my thought process all the time.
Yep.
Which is, I'm not even, none of this is real and I'm in a coma and making all of this up.
Yeah.
But then I think he got so, what?
I just thought about you. I heard you in my head say how fun for that little boy in a coma. We talked about in the fan theories episode. Anyway, go ahead.
But like, yeah, I think he got too far into it, and then so he was like, how am I even here?
Yeah.
And then his whole thing was like, I think, therefore I am.
So like, I'm real because I'm able
because
to
I think
process
that I am.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. You own it. You
not
own
helpful.
it, brother.
Don't yell at me because I'm not a philosopher and I don't really know that theory that well. That was like one psychology class I took that mentioned it briefly. Yeah. So like, don't yell at me.
LOL if it's not even him.
It's probably not. For sure, it's probably not. Okay. The question came about, which is where are all the aliens, right? So it says, do you ever wonder why humans have not come in contact with aliens yet? Every day. But we have. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we have the Fermi paradox, which
is
Fermi.
Okay.
Fermi, bitch.
Fermi.
This paradox is for me. Sorry. It's named after the Italian-American physicist Enrico Fermi.
Okay.
Fermi. I don't know what. Fucking, I'm so sorry if I mess that up.
Uncultured swine.
I am, dude. It's bad. It's the apparent contradiction between the lack of evidence for extraterrestrial civilizations and various high estimates for their probability, right?
Okay.
So it's like, we have to know that they're out there. Why haven't we come in contact with them yet, right? So the thing that people believe is that there are no aliens in this simulation that we've created. In this current reality, the easiest thing to do for the people behind the simulation is to simply simulate life in just one place in the universe. So the universe was created, but only life was created here.
In one place.
Yes.
To make it more manageable.
Maybe there's not aliens. So which one do you want to believe? Do you want to believe aliens or do you want to believe that we live in a simulation? Both of them are so fucking scary.
I like the idea of aliens better.
Me too.
I'm comforted by not being alone.
I agree.
In the universe.
Yeah. Aww.
I don't like the idea of someone just like... Okay, I don't like the idea of someone... This is going to be bad for faith people.
Oh, no.
I don't like the idea of someone being able to see what's going on and not do anything about it.
Agreed.
That
bothers you?
Yeah, that bothers me.
I agree.
So like if someone is behind the simulation and they're just like for shits and gigs trying to see what the fuck happens, it's like...
As like their own little experiment?
Yeah.
Fuck you, daddy.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan anymore. Okay,
but also thank you.
But also thank you, daddy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring it back to funsies.
Okay.
Or maybe not, because some of these are so creepy. So I got a Reddit thread, and the Reddit thread is tell me your glitch in the Matrix story. Okay?
Okay.
So let's start. This person who started the thread, their story goes, we have a breakfast laid on at work every morning. Just a simple buffet of eggs, bacon, what have you. Nothing huge, and it's really only to feed about a dozen people or so. I'm usually one of the first guys from my team to get to work, and the kitchen was deserted as usual. I walked into the little kitchen. There was a ceramic egg tray thing with 12 eggs in it, like the bottom half of an egg carton with a socket for each egg, right? And the eggs are all in there. Mm-hmm. All the spaces were filled with warm, freshly boiled eggs that they could peel and then have.
Okay.
I take one, walk over to the garbage bin, shuck the shell, and then I walk back over to the food and stop dead. There are 12 eggs in the tray again. No one entered the room while I was peeling the thing. I touched the mysterious egg, and it was the same temperature as the other eggs. They say, not a big thing, nothing major, but something very strange. Given one does not get presented with strange eggs from a parallel universe every day, I peeled and ate that one too. So, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
All of these things, I'm like, they're either ghosts or it's a simulation. There are no other...
Very glitchy.
Okay, so this one gives me... I read this one to Corey and I literally said, goose pimps all over my whole body. This will probably get buried. It didn't, Sarah.
We see it.
We see it, girl. Or I think it's Sarah X11. Doesn't matter. We see it, homie. When I was around 20, a few years ago, I kept having dreams about a woman with long black hair named Aurora. They were different dreams, but for some reason, her distinct face and name always ended up in them. It got to the point where I would wake up frustrated and confused and try to Google her name or find out how I was connected to her. After a few months, she stopped showing up and I dismissed it, thinking my brain was just being a scumbag. Fast forward a few years later, Halloween 2009, I'm in the car with a friend stopped at a gas station. I'm about to pull out and merge onto the highway when I get a phone call from a random number, so I stop the car, but no one answers. There was a person behind me who grew impatient, honked at me, and then swerved in front of me instead of waiting for 2 seconds for me to move. The second they get on the highway, a silver Civic loses control of their wheel and crashes into the car that swerves in front of me. I called the cops and waited at the gas station for them to come. It turns out that the drivers of both cars died. It 100% would have been me if I hadn't got that phone call. Called it back a few hours later out of gratitude and curiosity. It rang 3 times and went to voicemail. Hi, you've reached Aurora.
No.
Please leave your name and number. I never had... Oh, I got him again. I never had goosebumps like that in my life. I called it again the next day because I was that confused about the whole situation, and a woman answers. We get to talking. I tell her my entire story, including the dreams I have. She tells me she doesn't know how I got her number, and she never called me as far as she remembers. Weird. I ask her if she has a Facebook to check if she is in fact the woman in my dreams. I check her Facebook. Holy fuck, it's her. If that's not a glitch in the Matrix, then I'm batshit crazy.
Oh my gosh.
No.
That's wild.
I know.
I'm convinced that I travel to different universes in my dreams.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess I can't say.
Yeah.
And I feel weird confidently saying shit like that because I think people are just going to like roll their eyes at me or think that I'm nuts. But there are times where I dream and I know it's a dream and not to a point where like I am... what's that called where you can control in your dreams?
Oh, lucid dreaming.
It's not where I'm lucid dreaming, but like I just know this is just a dream. My brain's like doing some shit.
Right.
But there are other times where I am in a place where I know the location and I feel a familiarity with it. Like I've traveled there multiple times.
And you don't make up places in your dreams, correct? It's places you've been before. Or have seen before.
I think
your mind can't make things up.
Right. So
anywhere you dream of is somewhere you've been.
Well, or seen.
Yes.
But like there's like 2 places I can think of that I have visited and I spend a week there like in my sleep.
What?
It's a long period of time when I'm dreaming that I'm staying at this place and it is like it's like a lodge.
Yeah.
And there's like mountains and there is...
Wait a minute.
What?
Oh my God. I'm going to start crying.
Why?
Because I think I've been to this place.
What?
Describe it even more, but I just got... Like, look, I'm having real tears right now because I think I've been there in my dreams. That's where the dream that I just had that I told you about was in like a lodge in the mountains where you protected me from that.
There's a river.
Okay.
And there is like a mountain peak that we normally would walk to. And there's like a clearing up there in that area. And it feels like it would be difficult to get to, but it's not that far off the lodge. And then there is a coffee shop as well.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Is there like an area where you can go in and there's like a fire pit area? Have you been there yet? Probably not in your dreams, but you were in mine.
I don't know. I mean,
that could have just been a coincidence, but that like got me. Holy cow! Because I was like, that was literally where we just were in my dream.
I've been to that location that I'm talking about in multiple seasons, even. So I've seen it in the spring. I've seen it in the winter. I've seen it like in multiple. Yeah.
I just got full body shivers.
So, like, is that a simulation in a simulation? Like, what are dreams then?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's like, maybe a dream is like a peek into
a different reality? A different simulation?
Simulation.
I don't know.
Okay. This says, driving home on a stormy day, I see that a side road up to the local golf course is blocked off by a flashing barricade. I also spy a Mercedes parked past the barricade. This one... You remember when I say that when I get scared? My eyes. Okay, so sorry. I'm gonna like half cry during this whole thing. I also spy a Mercedes parked past the barricades with its hazards on. I stop and walk up to the car to see if they need help. I'm an EMT. I shine my light in the backseat to see a man slumped over, apparently asleep. Thinking I've got a few drunks, I move up to the driver window and rap on the glass and shine my light in. The driver is sitting bolt upright, unmoving, staring straight ahead. My window rapping or light does not cause him to blink, flinch, or move. I look over and the passenger is still slumped forward onto the dash. This begins to creep me out, so I call down to the sheriff's station and request a code 2, no lights or sirens, unit up to my location to help me check them out. The doors are locked to the car, which why the fuck would you even try?
Yep.
I mean, I guess to try to help.
Yeah.
But holy shit. While on the phone, I walk back to my truck to get my go bag. As I'm on the phone with dispatch, she asked me to get a license number for the car just as PG&E, which is a power company. A cherry picker for them a cherry picker truck comes rumbling down up the closed road. I move to go around the truck to get the plate number and the car is gone. I talked to the driver of the truck and he said there was an 80-foot tree down across the road and that he didn't think it'd be open for a day or two. So the question is, where the hell did the car go? Tree up one way, barricades down the other. It's kept me a bit unsettled when stopping at accidents and hazards since then. And then they actually put up the intersection via Google Maps to show where the barricades were. And there's no way you could get around it unless you would go back to buy his car.
So what is it like? Did this person actually see a car?
Or, well, was it in the simulation and then did it just
disappear?
Or was it a ghost?
Yeah.
A ghost. It was a ghost. I don't know.
The one that I saw today on TikTok was this person saying that she was 24, just like living her life. She's like, I was probably living my life like normal life till I was 24 or 25. I had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and I had a partner. And then I went to sleep and I woke up and I was 10 years old. And I was in my mom's house and I thought that I was dreaming and I missed my children so terribly and I missed my partner so terribly and I couldn't remember their names and I couldn't remember who they were. She's like, I do know who my partner was now. She's like, but I think I jumped universes and I think that I right. She's like, I thought that I was gonna wake up in my other life.
I'm having like trouble breathing.
That scares the shit out of me because I just started really liking my life.
Me too.
And I'm like,
please
oh,
don't take this away.
If you would have asked me a year ago, I'd be like, hop, skip, and a jump me any fucking where in the world. And but now I'm like,
don't take me to another one.
Professor Daddy Creator. Sir, please.
Okay, so this one said, this happened to me in 3rd grade and it scared me so much I started crying and had to go to the office to talk to the principal about it. I was in the hallway for misbehaving and my neighbor, Tad, who was a year younger than me. Tad.
Sounds like a troublemaker if I've ever heard it.
Came walking out of a class to my right. He passed in front of me and headed down some stairs. We said hi to each other. About 20 seconds later, he walked out of the same class, passed in front of me, and headed down the stairs. I just stared at him, confused and afraid, and he looked back like, why the fuck are you looking at me like that? I never realized how much it was like Matrix deja vu, which I've never seen The Matrix, but...
Me neither.
Then this person said, edit. I thought of a second example, and as long as this thread is popular, I may as well share it. A few years after this incident, my sister and I were hanging out in the living room watching TV. We both saw our mom walk through the other room and through the adjacent hall. Maybe 20 minutes later, she came in from the backyard. My sister and I looked at each other confused. That's so creepy because they both fucking saw it.
Yep.
And asked her how she got back outside. She didn't know what we were talking about. She said she'd been outside for hours. No one else was home. Oh my God.
Do you guys have glitchy stories? I want to know glitchy stories. I was listening to And That's Why We Drink one time. And there was a person who wrote in and said that they were working at a hospital and they got off the elevator and they were trapped for what they described, I think, was like hours and hours and hours, and they couldn't get out of this floor that they were on, and like they were alone on the floor and they couldn't get back. I don't know if the elevator like disappeared or what happened, but they finally were able to like get out and they were gone for like 5 minutes.
Ew. Ew.
I don't know what that's called. I don't think it's called a glitch in the Matrix or a simulation. I forget what it was. It was called something.
There's one that's
Those
like
of you who
that.
listen to And That's Why We Drink or who know about that kind of stuff, please inform us because we're still learning.
Yes. Okay, so this will be the last one. It's not the one that I thought I was going to find, but it's fine.
Okay.
This says, my dad had this little toy monkey that he used to call his favorite child. And he would tease me and my siblings with it. Not in a bad way, but it was really frustrating us. And we spent hours trying to steal it from him. That sounds like such a fucking dad thing to do.
My dad had a car. It was a Lexus that he got after grandma died.
Yep.
And it was like a 10-year-old Lexus, but it was in mint condition.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a great deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said it was his favorite daughter and he called it a Lexus.
That's fucked up.
Wish I could have stolen that.
Yeah, no shit.
Way better than a stuffed monkey.
Friggin' A. Well, anyways, one day we finally got it and threw it in the garbage after drawing on it and mangling it for a bit. So they drew on it with Sharpies. And my dad laughed and searched for it a bit, but basically figured out we had thrown it out and gave up after a week or so. Anyways, a few years later, when I was about 17, I'm walking down the streets in Toronto. I don't live in Toronto. I was just there visiting friends. And I see this little orange object on the side of the road. When I walk over to it, I pick it up and it was the exact same fucking monkey. It even had the black Sharpie lines on it from when we drew all over it.
What?
I honestly cannot even come up with the chances of that happening, especially considering our garbage is sent to a local dump nowhere near Toronto. And then she edited it and said, I actually took it with me and killed it with fire, so I knew it wouldn't come back. But like all of these are things that are like, how the fuck, what there is. I think the reason why simulation theory is growing in popularity is because it's a thing that's like, what other explanation is there? If you don't have an explanation for it, it has to be this, because what else would it be?
Yeah.
And so there's been a couple things like the helicopters that the rotors are just not moving. Is that rotors the right word? I
don't know. I was like, sure.
The copter part.
Yeah.
They're not moving. But a lot of people have debunked that and said that it was actually like moving too fast.
Yeah,
that
looked
you
like
can't.
It was still.
Yes. Or there's one I saw the other day that was in the sky. It was a bird that was like this. Like your tampon was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you look at the video, it just looks like it's floating in the air like that. But then other people commented and said that it was stuck in power lines and had electrocuted. So I don't know. But there are a couple birds that they show and they're just like fucking mid flap, but they're in the air and not moving.
I can't look at that stuff. Oh, that will freak me out.
I did, and that's why I was like, I can't do this anymore. We gotta pick a different thing because that was starting to.
Sorry.
No, it's
okay.
sorry. It's okay.
Well, if you guys have stories, we would love to share them.
Yeah, please send them
in. If you want, let us know, and I'll create a form for everyone to send stuff to.
For sure, because
we want to know your glitchy stories or the
absolutely.
weird things that have happened to you. Or if you have jumped universes.
Ooh, let us know.
Do you think that the simulation would have another universe, or it would just be like leaving
people.
the simulation?
Maybe multiple people playing multiple different ones?
Computers?
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, thank you to whoever's playing me right now.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Doing a bang up job.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that on the simulation.
Yeah.
We love you so much.
We do.
We hopefully keep your eyes and ears peeled. Patreon is coming soon. We will have all of the episodes from December up there, all of our past episodes up there, audio and video. So be on the lookout for that link. We will let you know as soon as it is live so that you guys can go and subscribe to that exclusive content. So,
yep.
Okay, that's all I have. Thanks so much, guys. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.